In a place where some come to find hope in dark times, the promised light at the end of the tunnel is being offered, shot by shot. Nearly 1,000 a day are inoculated here.
What does it mean to you now that you've had that first vaccine?
It'll take a time, I'm sure, but I think it's the only way out, isn't it now?
The elderly who wait their turn have all been invited by their doctors.
We've done some searches on all our patient rolls or lists, and we've identified all the over 80s and selectively gone from the oldest age first.
Healthcare workers are also invited, and as of this week, those over 70 and the clinically vulnerable are too.
There are 17 mass vaccination clinics like this across England. The government is taking advantage of empty space, utilizing churches, food courts, sports centres, and even race courses.
I feel quite, proud, because I say that as a Brit who thinks that we haven't necessarily excelled in the pandemic.
The UK was the first Western country to approve a vaccine. This immunologist says the success comes from the early start and that the government has put money and muscle behind the vaccination efforts. But as the third national lockdown drags on, he worries pressure to reopen could ruin everything, especially with the new and more transmissible variants.
And have a sort of small segment of partially vaccinated population and decide to go out into the streets and party and ease lockdown and be right back where we started.
A real fear for those arriving for their shot today. Many have been living in isolation since the spring. The organ plays for them and the exhausted healthcare workers.
What might help both groups, but some soothing, beautiful music played in these marvellous surroundings.
A sense of calm in the midst of a pandemic that's taking a record number of lives in the UK. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, Salisbury, England.